Are you struggling to know what to pack on your mountain bike ride? How many things could you possibly want to take with you? You'd be surprised. I've seen it all. Oops. Do you need a spare tire? No. Pads? Maybe. How many bags do you need? I could have a lot on my bike, personally. Question I get asked a lot is, how do I carry everything? Personally, I've had a lot of concussions, shoulder, back, neck issues, so I don't like anything big and bulky on my back. My bike can carry a lot for me, but I can still carry some things. I have this really awesome hip pack from P&W. It's got tons and tons of storage pockets. It rides really low on my hip here, so my weight stays centered while I'm mountain biking. I'll kind of walk you through how I pack this later on too. I always wear gloves. First and foremost, we got to protect our fingies while we're out there. Ideally, you want something lightweight, kind of grippy on the bottom. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, as long as it fits. They can be hardware gloves, they can be workout gloves, they can be yard gloves, doesn't really matter. First and foremost, inside my pack, I keep a first aid kit. I personally went to Knoll's Wilderness first aid class and took one of their just general first aid classes so that I could feel comfortable and competent helping lead group rides or taking people out on their first rides here and there. That way, if something does happen, I feel a little bit more prepared of how to handle that situation and how to help them until we can get off the trail. I carry lots and lots of bandages. I carry a guidebook on different sorts of issues that might pop up on the trail. Let's see, nitrile gloves are always awesome to carry. Clean wipes to make sure you get any debris off. Bandages, of course, all different types. Waterproof is ideal if you have it because you're going to be sweating. I also carry a bleed stop situation, which is kind of awesome. I had to use this in Moab a couple weeks ago when I had to get stitches. Helped a lot because I had to ride 4 miles back to the car. Before I put that stuff in though, I used my handy dandy syringe that I also got from Knoll's. Basically allows for super high pressure water to come out the top. Trick there is it needs to be sterile water or as clean as you can get while you're on the trail, aka no electrolyte supplements, things like that happening inside the water that you are drawing from and pumping into your body. Ideally, I do carry tape just in case someone, fingers, toes, things like that. A tourniquet, God forbid that you ever need it. It's good to have, comes in a lot of medical kits. If you don't have a tourniquet or any sort of sling, I do always keep a carabiner on me because you can turn any sort of shirt into a sling or bandage. I also have this beautiful Kula cloth here. Those of you who haven't heard of a Kula cloth, it's an antimicrobial pee wipe. So when you are out in the wilderness and you go, oh crap, I have to go to the bathroom, you can use this. I will use this all day when I'm out hiking or mountain biking, just to make sure I have something on me. That way you're not leaving any trace, you're not having to pack stuff out. Obviously just use this for pee, don't use it for poop. There's a shit kit for that, we'll go over that later. As far as tools go, I carry a hand pump about this size, pretty small. You can see it fits in one hand here for me. Takes about 5-10 minutes to pump up a tire should I need to. Most of the time it's my own mistake. I've loosened up a core or something like that on my bike, but God forbid you get a flat or you need to change an inner tube, you have this. And we'll make videos on how to change a flat on the trail later. I also carry a plug. In this case, it's kind of like a Dyna plug, meaning I can pop one of these in any sort of hole that my tire might get on it. This one's a little bit nicer than some, but you can get whatever your local bike shop might have. So it's these little tiny strips right here. You take this tiny little fork spear situation, grab it onto one of these, poke it in the hole that your rock or something has made. It saved me a $100 tire before, and that's no joke since things are getting more and more expensive. I've also got a multi-tool that I keep. This one in particular is from Blackburn. I can link it in the description if we want to. It's got a chain tool on it, so if you break your chain while you're riding down the mountain, you can get that fixed with a quick link, which there's also a little storage spot in here for links and things like that. What I like about this one is that it's a ratcheting tool. So I can get a little bit more leverage with this handle right here, and I can get into smaller spaces, and I'm not clicking over and over with like a little box end wrench or a multi-tool that's flopping all over the place. I've been through a lot of multi-tools over the years, and this one's my favorite. It also has, this is your little chain tool here, so if you needed to break something, you could click this into that, make an extender, get some power behind it, and actually snap your chain off, just like a proper shop tool. It's got really nice bits in here, everything from a 3mm to a 25T, a flat and a Phillips in here. So more than you would probably ever need. I used this to fix some hiking poles out in Colorado a few weeks ago because I didn't have any other multi-tool, and this was in my pack, and I was able to save the day with that. I personally always ride with glasses. I don't do it for style points or to try to look cool. I have spent a lot of money on my eyeballs personally, so I like to always protect them, even at night, even in the winter. Always, always, always have something over your eyeball. You've heard stories of people falling and hitting into a log or a rock and just getting debris or shrapnel in their eyeball. I don't want to deal with that. My Knowles first aid kit is not going to cover gouging your eyeball, unfortunately, so we're going to try to prevent that with some really cool glasses. And I still have room for snacks. Snacks are your own choice. Personally, I like something sugary. Usually I'm with honey and salt. You can do a beef stick, kind of whatever tickles your fancy that you're actually going to enjoy eating while you're riding. Ideally about 100 calories an hour or so is going to get you where you need to be. All right, now that we have our ride ready pack for on the bike, what do I keep in my car? If I'm going up to Cuyuna, Tioga, I'm 2-3 hours away from home, maybe the local bike shop's not open, what do I carry just in case? I keep a bin, a very handy bin in the back of my car. Knee pads, just in case I want to try something gnarly and new. Elbow pads, same thing. You don't have to have these. I just like them. Too many injuries. I keep a smaller medical kit. Really all that's in here is sunscreen, bug spray, baby wipes, ibuprofen, eye drops, things like that I might need before or after a ride, but probably not during a ride. Glasses case for these bad boys. I have an extra handlebar bag for my bike. Sometimes I'll put more medical stuff in here. I know I'm a nerd about the medical stuff, but it's important. I do carry an extra tire usually. Ironically, this is the size tire for my partner's bike, but it's good to have just in case, especially if it's an odd size. Again, this is usually like if we're driving across the country or something like that, we already have it in our possession. Why not put it in the car? It doesn't take up that much room. Keep several old rags so we can lube our chain at the trailhead if we forgot, because when you work on bikes all day, what do? Forget to lube your own chain. That's how it's gonna go. I have a couple headlamps in here. We do have lights on our bike. We'll talk about that, kind of how to optimize night riding. I do keep a spare inner tube in here and on my bicycle, just in case. My opinion is if I get that many flats, the universe is telling me just not to ride. So we're not gonna ride if we get 2 flats in a row.